Hey, and welcome back to my scrapbook channel. This is Yeva, and I've got another scrapbook process video for you guys. Here's the quick preview of that layout. And I am using mostly Paige Evans' Whimsical collection and some things from Pick Me Up collection. I'm also using a sketch up there in the corner. As you can see, it is by Cherry on a Top sketch. I just found it on Pinterest. So I'm really inspired by that hexagon paper. I just think it's beautiful, so many beautiful colors, so many great patterns. And that's what really drew me to to this sketch and to this layout, I guess. So here I am trying to pick out some papers for that top piece. Just like in the sketch, I'm following it pretty closely, and you'll see how I kind of make it personalized and change it up a little bit. And I kind of decided to keep this process in just to show you my process and thinking process of all the papers that I chose. I thought the floral one would be pretty, but it was just too busy. This dark one's nice, but it's a bit too dark. Pink, there's too much pink. And so I settled on this light blue diagonal paper. And I'm kind of really loving that. I also, like I said, I cut up all those hexagons just a bit, but then once I started putting it all together, I realized I'm not sure how to put it back together. I know it sounds silly, you can do whatever colors, but I think what was so beautiful and what I was so inspired by was exactly that paper. And so I pull it out there in the corner, as you can see, to kind of mimic exactly how it is on the paper. Because I think that's what really drew me was the combinations of them, how they're kind of almost like a rainbow effect of changing colors and things like that. So I'm kind of loving that. I had figured out the layout, and I'm deciding that I want to matte my photo, kind of make it stand out a little bit and make it pop. It's not the best quality of photos, but so that's why I wanted to matte it and give it some more dimension, some more layers. And it's, again, like I said, it's only just one photo. Earlier there you saw me write something on the paper, and that was just me writing the date. I always have my date stamped or written on the back of my photos, so I always remember, and before I put everything down, I wrote it there with the pencil on my page so that I can remember, and I always stamp with a date stamp, roller stamp, always date my pages. So I wanted to talk about how I find inspiration when I'm feeling a little lost, but I feel the need to scrapbook or don't have my mojo. I don't know about you guys, but I always gravitate and go towards sketches. I think that's why so many of my videos start off with a sketch. So that's my number one tip. Find a sketch that you are inspired by, that you love, and or the amount of photos go with the sketch sometimes. Another tip is starting with a paper that you love. So again, like in this sketch that I'm working on, I was really drawn and inspired by the hexagon photo, and that's what really got me going and my mojo. I started with the layout, I went and found a sketch that I'm really drawn to, and I just went from there. I found a photo or print out a photo and just go from there. So that's my biggest tip. Find a sketch or start with a pretty paper that you're really wanting to use and that you're inspired by. So I am going to start sticking everything down. I'm going to commit. I've been moving things around quite a bit. I got my title figured out, which is called The Lucky Ones. And the reason I'm calling this page The Lucky Ones is because we not only get to call each other sisters, we get to call each other friends. And that's, I know, pretty rare when it comes to in-laws. And so I had to document this because we're sisters, we're friends, and we are truly lucky. So I'm going to get everything stuck down using my lovely T-square ruler, and just going to start committing everything, getting everything down. I also used that T-square ruler a little bit earlier on my hexagon, and I only used it on one just so I can get that one straight, and from there all the other ones just kind of fall into place and work out quite well. And you'll see me, I think I do that with the top one, or not. But I'm going to commit, and there we go. And I'm just kind of working it off the sketch. My hexagons are quite a little bit bigger than what's on the sketch, but I'm totally okay with that. So here I've seen a layout earlier before on Pinterest where they had like machine stitched lines of like a hexagon. And I really love that idea, but I didn't want to machine stitch it or hand stitch it. So I decided to use another hexagon, trace a pencil around it to see if I like the positioning. And here I am going back over it with a pen. And it gives that extra, I don't know, extra layer, extra interest. Again, I could have hand stitched it, but I didn't want to. So I just used the pen and it still has that really cool effect of just another almost dimension in a way, even though it's not there. So I'm going to fidget with my title, and then I kept looking at this layout, and it kind of felt very flat, very one-dimensional, and I knew I would do just a little bit of other embellishments because there's so many colors and things going on. I scatter around those hearts, and here this is where I decide that it kind of looks flat, so I'm going to try adding another layer over the hexagons that are already existent. And I am so happy how this turns out. It gives that really cool dimension. I decide to kind of stick with the color scheme, kind of like almost a tone on tone color. And I'm just so happy with the way it turns out. Here I'm using that foam square to make it pop a little bit. And I don't do it on all of them, just a few, as you can see. And even the ones that go off the edge, I still pop those up. It has a really nice dimension. And yeah, I highly recommend this little sketch. And now it doesn't feel very flat, doesn't feel kind of boring. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to write in I put in lines for my journaling just so I can have that space so I don't accidentally cover it up. And I just do a few little embellishments here and there. Because again, the hexagons, I want the hexagons to really just stand out, be the focal point of the whole layout, and just a couple of scattering embellishments with little words. And that will pretty much conclude my whole layout. The only thing that I'll do is, of course, put my date on there with the stamp, and I'm also going to sprinkle on some gold mist to kind of bring it all together. Oh, and of course, eventually put on my journaling. So I'm working on that. I hope you guys found that helpful with my little tip of starting with a sketch or being inspired by a paper that you've maybe been saving and trying to use it on a special layout. Just go for it, use it. Don't be scared because it's better to be used than in a drawer somewhere. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for joining me on this layout. Give me a thumbs up or leave any comments below. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.